Hello everyone, Paul Rogers here. Today is February the 12th, 2018. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, take a look at Ethereum, and see where we are from a technical standpoint. Now, Bitcoin, this is a daily chart. We've seen a very nice recovery, and Bitcoin's been holding strong, I'd say in the last 5 days or so. As you can see, we're an interesting spot. We're broken back into this downtrend channel, but we're also now kind of stuck into this previous uptrend channel. So we're kind of a little bit in no man's land, but I do expect Bitcoin to break up into this previous downtrend, and I would expect Bitcoin to head up towards 11,800 or so when it actually goes and hits against this this previous upward trend channel. Excuse me, the previous resistance on the downward trend channel. So, I'm not sure if Bitcoin is going to hit this and be able to break past it. It's very possible that it could struggle and head lower. I don't think that's going to be the case. I do think it's going to hit it and then kind of bounce down and then probably reattempt to break up higher. Because I'm bullish. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. I think that a lot of things are improving. The Lightning Network's coming along very well, and I think Bitcoin's very undervalued right now. And if anyone asks me, hey, should I buy Bitcoin? I always say, yeah, you should hold some Bitcoin. I don't think you should have all your crypto assets in Bitcoin, but I think that it should be a big piece of anyone's portfolio. Now, Ethereum's kind of an interesting spot as well. It really needs to break above $1,000 before I'm convinced that it's going to be able to have a sustainable upside movement. Right now at 836 or 863, excuse me. We're not in a bad position per se, but we're still not out of the woods, so to speak. So we really need to see Ethereum bounce past 1,000. Once Ethereum goes back into the 4 digits, and we can maintain that for a few days, I think we can safely say, okay, things are looking much, much better, and I think the bull run will continue. And Ethereum on the long run is very much in a bull run. Sure, we had one hell of a correction, but even this low, it is still way above where Ethereum was a few months ago. So we're actually doing quite well, in my opinion, from a technical standpoint. I know a lot of you, I wouldn't say a lot of you who are listening to this, but a lot of people that were new to cryptocurrencies got really burnt by this. Someone that I know pretty well bought some Len tokens from me, and they bought them from me at 37 cents, and now they're worth about 8.5 cents. And I feel bad about that. I didn't expect Lend to be hit quite so hard, but what happens when these kind of things happen, all projects that aren't top tier projects that have the highest probability of surviving whatever's happening, all of them will suffer more than Ethereum and Bitcoin. Ethereum and Bitcoin are the safe havens, especially since Tether has been having some issues. So Bitcoin and Ethereum actually held up a lot better than other projects in the market. Personally, in my portfolio, Ethereum and EOS have weathered the storm by far better than I hold Lend tokens, and they just took a beating. I'm not going to sell them, definitely not at this price, and I do think the price will recover, but that's something to consider, that when you go and you don't want to over leverage yourself into these second or third tier cryptocurrencies. These younger, smaller projects that do offer higher returns also offer higher risks, and they don't hold up as well when there's a downturn. So, Lend still hasn't recovered. It's got a long ways to go. But Ethereum's looking, in my opinion, I think Ethereum's going to be over $1,000 next week. That's what I'm expecting. I could be wrong, but I do think that it's looking like Ethereum will be over 1,000 at some point. Once the market kind of goes, phew, okay, we're back doing well again. There's some new all-time highs being set. Market's looking very bullish. That's when you'll see people go and look for more risk. They'll go risk on, and the smaller projects that are top 200, maybe between top 100 and 200 projects, under the top 100, those kind of projects will start making big gains, sometimes 40, 50, 60% in a day, once people go risk on. And the larger projects that didn't have as much as a dip, weren't as much affected, those projects they'll still grow. They just won't, they'll be outperformed by the second and third tier altcoins. So just a little bit of insight and some opinion on how things go. And that's the reason why you don't want to go and put all your money into one project. You want to spread it around. Spread your portfolio around. And you'll save yourself a lot of heartache that way, for sure. Go ahead and leave in the comments area if you guys want me to make any videos about any specific topics. I want to make a video on co-vesting, which I've done a few videos on, but I'm a big co-vesting supporter. I really like what they're doing. I love the Telegram community for co-vesting. They just got listed too on a new exchange that I'm really happy about, and I think that the project's going somewhere. And I'm also a big fan of Blockport. Blockport's similar to co-vesting, but in a lot of ways quite different. They're going about things in a different way, but it's also they're also into social trading. Mirror trading and social trading are different in some ways, but both of those projects, they've gone down quite a bit in this downturn. Probably dropped about where I purchased them, at least took a 50% haircut since where I bought in, and that's totally fine. Most projects took at least a 50% turn. I mean, a few exceptional projects lost less than 50%. Like Ethereum, maybe Ethereum went down only 40% or something like that, or EOS held up decently well. But there's a lot of projects, there's some I'm looking at and they're down 70% still. 70%, or some are down 75 or 80%. Like Latin tokens, they're down a lot. They're down probably around 75%. So from their high, and that's just something. This is the crypto markets. When you're investing, you've got to stay diversified. You've got to understand the risk, and when you go to those smaller projects that they can end up they can add insult to injury when the market is in fear mode and they're going towards safe havens. You ask somebody who's investing, hey, what project is going to have the highest possibility of being around in 5 years? The first thing that's going to come out of their mouth is Bitcoin or Ethereum. So where's the money going to flow when people are scared? Bitcoin or Ethereum. And that's why. So anyhow, I'm going to keep this video relatively short. I don't want to make it too much of a rant, but I did want to express my opinions here a little bit, and hopefully this nice little rebound we've had will continue, and I'll be right, and Ethereum will be at $1,000 next week. Anyhow, Paul Rogers out.